Test, test. Can you hear me now? Could someone please write something if they can hear me? Ah, effing finally. Okay, I apologize for that. Okay, sorry. Okay, I was talking for, I don't know, 20 minutes before the race and did an amazing introduction of the race. That was apparently completely useless. So I finally welcome you for the race. Only a lap short. Okay, quick run through the field. We have Harley for die 4 lustigen 5. No new team here. Leading by 2 seconds ahead of Krog for RX Racing. That's the old COC team. They're in second place. They lost 1 position with their second car, but now it seems they finally get that position back, as Vanessa, who got that position after turn 2, had to serve the time penalty. RX now in second and third position. We have Joe, who had some problems with the connection, in 5th place. PPL with Irma in 6th place. And here we have RC in 7th position. Jaja, I'm doing that. Give me 1 or 2 minutes. Then we have Group 4. We have a multi-class race with Group 3 and Group 4. Confi is leading the slower class, Group 4s. 1.5 seconds ahead of Spokazon. And they have a good gap ahead of Shanty. And then we have Crash Testing. I'm going back to lead. And Jaja, I'm following up. I'm checking the BOP settings in a second. Yeah. So, let's see. Nissan. Correct. Porsche. Correct. Correct. Then we have Vanessa in the Mercedes AMG. Also correct. Jaja, settings are correct. Another AMG correct. M6 BMW correct. Confi in Group 4 with the Toyota. Where do we have it here? Also correct. Joe, Lexus. Where are we? I think Joe has wrong settings. The weight, I have to check that later. Crash Testics, also Lexus. Ah, that's Group 3 car. He's in the pits. That's why. No other things. Looks all right. Back to racing. Harley still leading. 8:16 on the first lap. I think generally we will see 8-minute 10s and belows. Crowhawk, second position. Ben in third. Vanessa had to serve a penalty, that's why she lost a lot of ground. Here we have Joe. Nice to see that we have a close battle for the lead in both groups. Confi's holding that lead in Group 4, but just as Spokazon from the third RX team is very close. We see below 3/4 of a second, so Spokazon is in slipstream range, is closing in. We're coming up to Arenberg. It is possible to overtake here, and Confi knew that, so he closed the inside line. I think there was a little tap from the BMW behind. But Confi hold the line. Now down to Fuchsröhre. Another chance. Confi didn't want to give him the space there, but Spogason squeezed himself through. Fuchsröhre up the hill. Oh, it was close. Confi's off. Yeah, and they hit each other. What happened? Confi has damage, whereas Spogason even worse damage. I think that was a bit unnecessarily brutally defended by both drivers. Spogason obviously saw his chance and attacked really aggressively, but Confi defended really aggressively too, and now both have damaged their cars and their race really heavily. Yeah, Flames agree. That's just suicide to drive side by side through that. Confi can be happy that he has no engine damage. Hi Haley, I greeted you before, but apparently I was silent, muted. Yeah, agree with you, Jakal. Bit unnecessary to force a maneuver at this part of the racetrack. Harley with an amazing pace, extending the lead by another second, 1.5 seconds. Ooh, that was a big wire from Crowhawk out of the carousel. And it seems like Harley can drive away a little bit, and we have a nice battle for position 2, 3 and 4 with 2 RX drivers and Vanessa. Yeah, Flames, I have also agreed with that. The Nissan is a car that works, I think, on pretty much any track here in Gran Turismo. Good all-rounder. Bit sketchy with traction sometimes, but overall just a strong car. There have been some discussion in our Discord about tier list. Oh, we have a mistake from Crowhawk, but he can catch the car. A tier list of Group 3 and 4 cars, and I think most of the time the Nissan was placed in S or in A rank. Vanessa strong, looking really strong here. Apparently quicker than Ben ahead of her. bit on the grass there. I hope Vanessa is more patient than we had the battle in Group 4. Now comes the best option for an overtake. Little carousel, interestingly a wider line. Now it's important to get out of Galgenkopf. Really smooth, full throttle, and now use the slipstream. The Porsche is a car that takes really long to get to speed. Mostly on most tracks it doesn't have the best top speed because it takes really long. And we see the Mercedes is looking for that third position in the lead. Can Ben do anything about it? Ben is now on the slipstream and may be able to do a counter attack. Showed himself, but he's not really in the position to do that. On the brakes, no crazy maneuvers. That's great to see. The Porsche is really strong in accelerating, so maybe here's a chance for Ben to get back. Looking for the inside. Yeah, and that should be another switch of positions. Or can Vanessa do anything about it? Late on the brakes. Both get the corners. Switchback is tried, but it's not going to happen. RX again with 2 cars on the podium at the moment. Yeah, have to agree. That was really fair racing. Great to see fair from both. Let's see. Harley 808 extending the lead. Crowhawk, we saw the mistake that cost a couple of seconds, but apparently not really the pace right now to match Harley's lap times. Nice battle here. Vanessa with small problem. Let's go a bit down the order. No changes, no problems for P5, 4, 5, and 6, and we have the first driver to pit after second lap. That's quite unusual. Now I see why. Medium tires were selected, not softs, and that explains a lot. Medium tires, I don't know, 10, 15, 10 seconds, yeah. 10 seconds is likely the cost of that. And Jakal, easy. No questions asked. So we have Chanty here in the lead. Crashtastic in the second position. And Confi finally arrived in the pit lane. Damage repairs, that cost a lot of time. Lap time, 9 minutes, yeah. That cost about 40 seconds in total. And here we have Spogason, who's still on track, doesn't even have entered the pit lane. So a lot of time loss. Arenberg for Harley, and then we see a lot of nothing before Crowhawk arrives. And we miss an overtake. Vanessa managed to pass Ben. I don't know whether on the GP circuit or on the Nordschleife, but she's got the position. That looks familiar. I hope Ben is more patient and doesn't try to make a move here. Yeah, he is. It doesn't look like it, but it's a very long flat out section until you reach the top of Fuchsröhre. And the slipstream is very effective at this part. So you gain a lot of momentum over the car ahead and could technically go for a move. Is Vanessa actually a female driver? I think so. I haven't seen it. Yes, I think I have. I have seen her profile picture on the Discord. Yeah. Female driver and a fast one. Doing an amazing good job so far. Quite an uneventful race at the moment for Joe and Ömer. Flemme says, I know Chanty is. Chanty is the female driver, a woman. I didn't know. Not really the start RSC is looking for in P7 in Group 3 and lost the lead with one car, obtained it with Chanty. Crashtastic inherit the second place in Group 4. But Confi is far off, about 18 seconds, and oh, that hurts a lot. Spogason lost a minute to Confi. So I think most interesting racing is at the moment here in Group 3. See what Vanessa is doing. After struggling to get past Ben, she managed to get a good gap. 3 seconds now, and a little bit less than 3 seconds she can see Crowhawk ahead of her. And let's compare a bit fuel and tire wear. The Mercedes is a car with a front engine, which tends a bit to understeer, but in general is better to the tires, while the Porsche is a mid-engine car, which is a bit more oversteery, a bit more aggressive, and tends to be more harsh to tires. So let's take a look at the tires, and I think we can see, if we compare, that Vanessa's front tires are more used, but Crowhawk's rear tires are more used, so they're somewhat even. If crash, and I hope they catch it, but I mean, it's 6 seconds, isn't that much. They can see each other. I hope they are a bit more careful. So Vanessa has used more fuel than Crowhawk, so her car is slightly lighter, which is an advantage obviously at the moment, but if they're going to pit, presumably at the end of the 4th lap, she has to take more fuel, therefore staying a little bit longer in the pit lane. Harley is on fire. Yeah, I agree. That's a phenomenal start for you guys. Just keep doing that. And you're doing fine. Oh, we had a mistake by Crowhawk. Kleines Karussell, the little carousel. Not sure what happened. Maybe too eager, wanted to be too early on the throttle, and I assume spun himself to the inside. Damage on the front, and that gives the Vanessa 2nd position, and will cost Crowhawk presumably another position, as Ben, driving by his not teammate or league colleague, driving for the same league but obviously for 2 separate teams, despite being both in on the Audi. And now we have to wait and see if Crowhawk is going for pit stop. Yes. Not the worst decision. Even such small damage can cost you a lot of time, and if you don't have to make an extra pit stop, it doesn't hurt your strategy. So Crowhawk should be ahead. We have RC already in pits. That's why there's such a big gap. Ömer for PPL through the Castroles, and now we had number 7 Porsche on track. Vanessa 8:13 with 1.5 overtakes, not a bad lap time. We see that Ben still following her closely. Harley is flying, and those are 8-minute 8s consistently. That's good. Good lap times. Let's go on board. Down Hatzenbach. Not taking the corner flat. I think it is possible, but it's risky, so it's something you usually try to do in qualifying, but avoid doing in a race just to be on the safe side. As we saw already, driving here is really tricky. Up to Quiddelbacher Höhe. small lift, back full throttle on Flugplatz. And just as a comparison, okay, good. I expected even a bit more understeer from the car. Well, Vanessa, good pace. Let's keep that in mind. Around 13 seconds is the gap. See if Vanessa is able to catch Harley. Crowhawk finds himself in 6th position, a bit down the order after that first pit stop. At the end of this lap, presumably anyone ahead of him will pit, and then he should find himself around Ben, maybe behind him, because he's carrying a lot more weight in form of fuel at the moment. So he should be in net 4th, but not too far off 2nd place. And Chantian, Crash, Tastic are closing in. The gap was about 6 seconds, now it's 5. Let's drive a bit on board here. So Crashtastic is catching Chanty, not by much, a second, in what, 5 minutes? 6 minutes? Around about that. So it's something, and if they continue with this pace, they will find each other on track. But I think a bit more interesting even is that Comfy in 10th place is catching rapidly. The gap was, I believe, 18 seconds, and now it's 10, so over the course of almost one complete lap, he was able to catch 8 seconds, which is crazy. I think that's really motivating to see the driver in front of you that you're able to catch. And if you look at the gap and see after a corner, okay, I found a bit here, I'm getting there, or you lose something and you're a bit angry about yourself, that wasn't good enough. That's really fun, that's really enjoyable. Confi was naughty. 1 second time penalty, but yeah, it's closing in. 9 seconds the gap. Interestingly, that the gap to Spugazon still around a minute. I think it's a bit closer, like a second. So the pace between those two can be said is equal. Back to the front. Harley extending the gap. It was 1.5, almost, I think now 2 seconds closer. So Harley is extending his lead over Vanessa. So it's looking good for them. Anyway, good start for both teams into this 24-hour race. YouTube corner. I think this area is about the best part of this track. Really like that. After Hoa 8 you have many nice drift, many quick corners, a lot of direction change, and the track falls a bit. Then you have corners that go up, a lot of elevation changes. Really enjoyable for me. Again, 2 wheels on the grass, showing that Vanessa is pushing the car. Maybe a bit too much even. The gap around 4 seconds. And I wonder if it's interesting for Ben to try something different, like underfueling the car and trying to save fuel on the Nordschleife, because how difficult it is to overtake there. With underfueling the car, jump Vanessa in the pit lane. Vanessa had a small problem at Kleines Karussell. Lost a second there. Nothing too much to worry about. But the chance is there. I think anyone is going to pit now. Harley as the leader, obviously the first of the group who's coming in. I think Vanessa's tires are really done. Struggling a lot. And wow, see, Ben is going for a different strategy. Extending, and is now in the lead. Here we see the Nissan still standing. A lot of fuel going in, and now they continue. They should have clean air. Yep. Second position for now, but obviously the leader hasn't pitted. Moment, we have Crowhawk in the pit lane again. Crowhawk had some moment again. We see the bumper and the left rear tire. There's damage. It's blinking red. So something happened there. That's the second stop. And this is hurting them now because this is losing time. One unscheduled pit stop can be catched up with the strategy that you don't lose too much time, but the second so early in the race, that's hurting him. Vanessa back on track in P3, fighting against Ben in the lead. The gap 36.5 seconds, so we keep that in mind. And Ben has a great chance here if he's able to stop one time less than Vanessa. That means that Vanessa has to drive out a gap every time. Of course, he's going to stop one more time and lose, let's see, 45 seconds. 40 seconds around that. So that's a lot. Joe pitted in 4th position at the moment. After the mistake from Crowhawk, now definitely a legit 4th place. But we see a closer gap. I think the last time we checked this gap, it was about 6 seconds. Now it's half of that. It's only 3 seconds. Crowhawk probably really frustrated with the way this race went so far. Overdriving the car, probably feeling that he can do better, and it doesn't go his way, and he just pushing the car to do it. Genty, here we have Confi, and Crashtastic had a crash moment, losing a lot of time because he has an engine problem damage. Yeah, that hurts badly. In a way, it's in a good time because he, crashed. Good time because the pit stops weren't too far off anyway, so would be more hurtful if it was directly after he pitted. Confi is taking the lead again in Group 4 after Shanti is visiting the pits for the first time. Here she goes. Crashtastic also in the pit lane now, but that costs a lot of time. But that's good news for Spookazon, who's driving completely on his own. Maybe able to catch Crash Tastic and can battle with him. Chanty left the pit lane. 36 behind Confi. Here, who's coming out ahead? It's probably going to be Spokazon. Yes. By a lot. It's going to extend probably 6 seconds. Okay. Eric's leading. With Ben. I wonder if this is a better strategy. They probably tested it and are aware what they want to do. What we saw, he lost 5 seconds to his personal best at the midway point of the lap. And Halley in second place with fresh rubber is catching. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for following. Moin. Ja, grüß Gott. Yeah, and we can see at the gap. Vanessa, at the beginning of the lap, the gap was 36.5 seconds. Now it's 31 seconds. So Vanessa's catching Ben by 5 seconds so far, and it's going probably been 8, 9, 10 seconds. But yeah, this is the time she has to find if she's doing one more stop. 4th position we have Joe. Not that much that Ömer is catching, but he's getting there. 10th here, 10th. That. Oh, come, stay on track. Oh, no damage, luckily. Only emotional. And Krog is behind. Just before the carousel. You arrive, it's one of the fastest parts of the racetrack. I can hear that. Chakala, I can hear that. Yeah, and it's not that easy to pick your braking point. And he was just a bit too late on the brakes. Luckily, the car has no damage. I can say what's about the driver, but the car has no damage. Let's follow Ömer from Korg's perspective. Brünchen. Love that corner too. Really fun. Double apex. Really downhill. The game, if I have one thing to criticize about Gran Turismo, it is that it doesn't really show the elevation changes properly. In real life it looks so much more extreme. Anyway, gap Ömer Krog is below a second, or about a second. And if Krog is able to find just a few tenths, he's able to get into slipstream on Döttinger Höhe and maybe go for an overtake on this straight or for the start-finish straight. In the meantime, Ben is going to the pit, so Harley is taking back that lead. That's close. Getting that corner right. The exit is really important. And Krog is close enough. He's really close. I think he's closer than he likes to be, because now he doesn't have any slipstream, and now it's basically a drag race. We see that Ömer basically gifted the position really early on the straight and is now looking for the slipstream. I think he was going for a move, but he's going to bump draft Crowhawk once, twice, 3 times. So Ömer apparently isn't looking for a fight here, giving up the position for Crowhawk. Crowhawk with a really strong qualifying time and obviously a strong race pace minus the incidents yet. So maybe Ömer said, okay, this guy is fast at me at the moment and it doesn't really make sense to fight it. I'm losing just time doing that, so going for the best possible race strategy I can do and taking that slipstream for a moment and get on with my race. And maybe he is towing me towards the Mighty Joe and I get into that fight that way. Yeah, smart driving. Picking your battles and know when to fight and when not. Agree. So Ben, after leading for 1 lap, came out in 3rd position, 15 seconds behind Vanessa, which is a lot. About 10 seconds he lost in that 1 lap. Yeah, but it's a gamble. He's going to pit presumably 1 time less than Vanessa, so Vanessa needs to find this time every stint she's doing, and maybe then she's able to stay in the lead. Oh no, we lost Joe. Joe has left after 6 laps. Yes, 6 laps. Ah, that sucks. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, 1 driver less. Hi, Wissa, greetings. I lost a little bit count what's happening in Group 4 because there was really close racing. Confi is leading quite comfortably again after his incident. 40 seconds. Here we have Chanty. And Spugazon in 9th position overall, 3rd in class. Let's compare lap time. Shanty just below 9 minutes, 8:59, 8:58 were the last lap times. What's Spugazon doing? Okay, that's way quicker. So if he can do that, Spugazon is going to catch Shanty in about 3 laps. And then it's game on to catch Comfy once more. So if we look at the track map for a moment, we see that the group 3 runners at the middle of the track, while the group 4 runners are at the beginning of the lap. So after 3/4 hour, we have around half a lap of difference. And in another 5 to 6 laps, we could see the first lappings. 9-minute dead from Spugazon. Bit quicker lap time from Crash. Yeah, if you look at the tires, Spugazon way less fuel, but the tires are really worn, especially the front tires, which are leading to more understeer. Crashtastic pitted the lap before that. Better rubber, yes, more fuel, but better rubber, may be able to close that gap and could attack. Let's focus on. Harley is doing everything right at the moment. Round Hohe 8 after the carousel. Vanessa just entering the carousel. I hope one can see that. On the very left and on the very right, the Mercedes has Falken sponsoring, but it's using Michelin tires. But sounds like a mistake, but it's not. As the original 24 hours race is sponsored by Falken. Those logos are mandatory for the cars, despite using different tires. If you look at the in-game BMW, you can see this as well. So great job doing that livery, seeing and studying the cars and adapting the livery. Well, small moment there. That's a famous YouTube corner where a lot of people can easily visit. It's on a public parking lot, and you just have to go a few meters and you're there. Difficult corner because it's long uphill and then it's going more level, more even, but it's closer at the same time, so the weight of the car is shifting really really in a short time span, and that brings a lot of oversteer to the car. Crashtastic lost a bit of time again. Maybe a small mistake. Hopefully can find that and gives focus on a good battle. We see that the gap has come down to 22 seconds. Shanti is doing a good race. No mistakes so far. Unfortunately, not quite the pace to catch Confi. Confi is again comfortably in the lead in the Group 4. Thankfully, the incident with Spogason, he came, well, not better, but didn't hurt him as much. The kind of damage that was dealt to a car played a massive role to that. He could be a minute behind where he is now as well. So, a bit lucky for him. But you can write in the comments as well, but I think it was racing incident. It was a bit over the top aggressive from both drivers, and but I don't think that there's any need to say that was with penalty, one side or the other. Oh no, we have a huge damage here for the Mercedes of the RC car. The Mercedes is damaged basically everywhere, and that hurts a lot because that means Confi is going to overtake his league colleague and is going into 6th position. There's not much separating them. You can see 3 seconds. That's going to be an overtake for Confi now. He can see his league colleague right there. Fair enough. I think he touched the grass. Oh, Confi had to adapt going from the inside of the carousel to the outside. You have to be very careful with that. Yep, and that's a very unfortunate son of the engine. So the field stretched out a bit. I think there are no... Vanessa with another wild slide. but she catched it. That's not really a place you want to crash. Obviously, you never want to crash, but if you have a moment there and you crash and damage something, you have to go 20 kilometers around the Nordschleife before you enter the pits. So, as the race is a bit more quiet at the moment, if you have a question in chat about the race, about the current situation, about DRS, or just want to follow a specific driver, can write and I can go through that. Yeah, Haley, I don't know, your driving style is only drifting. You were really strong last time we were racing here, but I didn't understand you driving because it was always sliding. But yeah, fair play. Well, I don't know how it worked, but it worked. Yeah, that's true. We have a BMW, two BMWs, and a Lexus. The Subaru from GSR Inferno Racing League is not here, unfortunately. Shanti is going to be the next driver who's going to catch their Group 3 league colleague, Ferner. Yeah, maybe Merck is going to visit pits before they catch each other, but they're on the same straight. It's a 1.5 kilometer long straight, but nevertheless, they're on the same straight. Yeah, it's just such a long lap if you have to come back here on the ring for repairs. And what hurts even more is that you went to the pit just a lap before, so it's a back-to-back pit stop, and that's really hurts the strategy. It wasn't at the worst possible time. So Chanty is going to get one free position here. Oh, funny, you can see two cones there from the marker for the pit lane are being driven onto the start finish line. Ferner still saying now, accelerating out of pits, and Spogason is a few seconds behind there. Nothing you can do to get involved into this battle. Let's drive a bit with Ferner on board. Chanty in 7th position is 10 seconds ahead, but due to different classes, Chanty in Group 4 and Ferner in Group 3. Chanty should be overtaking at the beginning to mid of the lap on the Nordschleife. Through the Schumacher S, you can really see how much understeer this car is picking up. Interestingly, that Ferner didn't use this opportunity to get 100 liter into the fuel tank. About 3/4, maybe 80%, and okay. Gap to Chanty 5.5 seconds coming down, especially here on the straight. It's really clear how much stronger these cars are. Not only are the Group 3 cars having more power, they're also lighter by a lot. So around 550 horsepowers and around 1,300 kilograms out of Group 3 cars. The Group 4 cars having 350 and 1,400, 1,500 kilograms, so there's a lot more weight as well. Ferner, bit more under grass than I'd like him to see. Nice drift. Still a long race. We managed 1 hour of racing out of 24 of this event, and it appears that Ferran is actually quite lucky to catch Chanty at a position on track where it's possible to overtake. I mean, they're league colleagues, so they should communicate what they're doing, and Chanty is not standing in the way. Fair play to them. Next one is Comfy with 50 seconds. That will take a lap and a bit. Spokers on managed to close the gap a bit more to 15 seconds, but has to pit. At the end of this lap, we see the fuel indicator is blinking. So, next scheduled pit stop for him. I will give Crashtastic back P9. And no thoughts about pitting. For Ben. Holly and Vanessa should pit. It's the 4th lap of this stint they're doing. Lap times are good from Holly in lap 6, personal best and overall best lap time with an 8-minute 07.0. And we look at the lap times when he was driving, coming out or into the pits. 808, 808, 807, 807, 807. So consistent. That's the magic word. Vanessa's pace really strong, but yeah, she's catching some time penalties here and there. Nothing too dramatic. Nice drift here. Yeah, you can hear how worn the tires are. A lot of squeezing. But it's doing a good job. 10 seconds ahead of Ben. Ben with an 808. Really good lap time. Unfortunately, it's the only lap time under 8 minutes 10. But if he can continue this trend, it's looking strong, and he's catching Vanessa, obviously due to the current situation with the tires being favorable for him. It will come the other way around for Vanessa, obviously. It's doing a good job. Crowhawk, 2 8:10s and 1 8-minute 09. A bit quicker, but not much. It's about even, I would say, with the drivers in front of him. But obviously it's still a long way to go in this stint. So Crowhawk, despite having to stop twice already, he's a possible candidate for P2, I would say. Crowhawk is drifting instead of driving. Yeah, it was a bit over the top after Flugplatz. But yeah, you have to push it. And then maybe you'll be able to get back to P3 and 2. Ömer is not able to hold the pace with Crowhawk. You see the lap times 8, 17, 16 and 19. It's a few seconds off pace, but hasn't done anything wrong. We saw one thing where he was on the grass before carousel and touched the barrier ever so slightly. Nothing big, nothing major. And he's doing his lap time consistently. It's not the very best pace, but he's doing a good job for his team by just bringing the car home and driving really good to his ability. So good job to him for him. Confi now entering lap 8. And if you look just how big the difference is, 5 minutes 10 seconds to Harley. Harley's now in the carousel section. It's not going to be long until we see first time the Group 3 cars are going to lap the Group 4 cars. The last race we had also a multi-class race at Le Mans. It was Group 103. I think every 7 or 8 laps, every 25 to 30 minutes, the Group 1 cars lap the Group 3 cars. Obviously, because Le Mans, despite being a very long track, but not as long as the Nordschleife, obviously, the difference between those classes are much bigger than we have the difference here between 3 and 4. Vanessa still driving with the penalty, and Ben is closing in. The wide there, showing that they give it everything. Crowhawk driving style, yeah, Jackal said it. A bit too much drifting for his liking. Gap down below 10 seconds now, and Ben is obviously taking back that second position when Vanessa is going to stop. Ben himself can do 2 more laps with this fuel he has right now, which is an advantage, but those lap times due to the tire wear will be slower, so Vanessa should be able to close the gap, and when Ben has pitted, should be ahead by 20-25 seconds, a bit depending on how well they drive. And avoid mistakes like this, Eric's. Ben here just touching the grass on the exit of the little carousel. The leader is in the pit lane again. Here we have Vanessa burning her penalty. And let's see, a bit more than 10 seconds, and now we see she's burning a penalty, and from 10 seconds going down to about 8 seconds. Vanessa is going to pit again. Harley should, yeah, he's now leaving the pits and is well ahead of Ben. Taking turn 1 now, and Ben is pretty much exactly on the start finish line. Vanessa get a new set of tires and obviously fuel. Crocs in a pair where we have Ömer about 20% left. Could extend. He's going to extend. One more lap for him, and it's going to be interesting where he's arriving in comparison to the others. Vanessa now leaving the pit, taking turn 1, and now we have Ömer just 1.5 seconds behind her, which is really important for Vanessa, because you do not want to overtake if you don't have to. If you could stay ahead, you obviously want to stay ahead because it's always going to lose time. Confi, the leader of the group 4 cars, is on the middle on track here after Bergwerk. It's a long uphill section, it's not really that visible. But yeah, maybe you can make it out. 220 the top speed. Losing about 10 meters a second in comparison to group 3. That's just the difference in power. Ahead of Steilstrecke, if you're not aware, there was an option instead of taking this corner to go straight up a hill and rejoining the track at Hohe Acht. It wasn't never meant for racing, but there was a connection. It's pretty much a straight line. You don't take much of a turn before taking this, and was so steep that it was used like climb racing and to test vehicles, mostly built around the I think 1930s, 40s. Obviously the cars back then didn't have as much power, and it was really a stress test and see what the car was capable of. I noticed that 27% incline, which is a lot. I think the banking in Zandvoort is about 20%. Daytona has a banking of 33-37%, but obviously it's not meant to drive upwards. You're driving the corner. You don't experience the banking the same way, but yeah, never meant for racing. I think a cool fun fact. Vanessa extending the gap to Ömer by 2-3 seconds, so about a second per racing minute, and that's just the difference between tires, mostly tires. Also a nice round number, 400 kilometers with this BMW for Ömer. Let's check how many kilometers everyone has driven. 1,700 for Harley, 340 for Ben, 2,400 for Vanessa Ömer, 400, 5,500 almost for Crowhawk. He's going to finish that number soon. Confi is going to pit now with about 250, 1,000 for Fernand. Chanty with 725. Crashtastic with 266, and Spurgeson with exactly 250 kilometers. The more you know. I think most interestingly is how the gap is going to develop between Ben in second position and Vanessa in third position. It's 31 at the moment, but it should come down quite a bit within the next lap. As you can see, the tires are quite worn on the Porsche here. See a lot of red. while Vanessa just pitted has fresh rubber. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, shit! Shit. Ben with a mistake on a braking, just went a bit wide on top of the curb and hit the grass, and obviously you have no grip when you do that. No way to de-accelerate the car properly, and he's having real problems here, Jim Cursor. That hurts badly. I'm sorry for Ben here. He lost a lot of time doing this mistake, and is still losing a lot of time towards the end. Yeah, you can see it's already 10 seconds time loss, and that will mean that Ben is losing his second position to Vanessa. He will lose a position to Ömer. No, he's not, because Ömer has to pit this lap as well. We lose a lot of time to Ömer as well. And unfortunately, Crowhawk has done a mistake again, has small damage. So Eric's competitive pace, good pace, but unfortunately doing too many mistakes. Shanty is visiting the pit lane once more. Should be out of pits well ahead of Spokazon, I think. The gap was about 50 seconds, should be enough. Let's see, she's accelerating now. Where's Spokazon? Let's drive on board. There, yeah, a few pixels. You could see Shanty. 7 seconds, 8 seconds the gap. Yeah. There she goes. What's happening here? Still in the lead, but only by 10 seconds. It was about 30 seconds just 2-3 minutes ago. Krog, multiple crashes. Kevin, do you refer to this lap? So multiple small incidents lead to the damage, or do you mean in general in this race? Because yeah, I saw that, but I didn't saw what happened to him in this particular lap. Yeah, Vanessa's going to catch that Porsche, taking a bit of slipstream. Bit of an unnecessary risk, if you ask me, because she moved in time to the right side, but was close, and you don't gain anything. Yeah, this lap. Few spins. Okay, didn't saw that. Thank you, Kevin. Bit unnecessary risk because she doesn't gain really any time by being a slipstream for a second. And my game is glitching out. But if she would hit the car in front of her, she's probably going to have engine damage as well. I'm sorry for that. Let's try again. So, Ben in pit lane, and now Ömer not that far off, only 5 seconds. Ben has to do repairs on his car, so maybe Ömer can emerge in front. Also Crowhawk in the pit lane. Kevin pointed out multiple spins this lap, and yeah, we can see in the lap time 8 minutes 40 already, so about 30 seconds time loss in a lap. Ben in 3rd position and Ömer in 4th position. Mostly I think due to the difference in fuel. Gap Confi, 1 second. Confi not too far of group 3, only 40 seconds. and a minute ahead of Crash. 17 seconds behind that, so about 1 minute 20 is Shanty. And Spoker's on 3 seconds behind that, so I think we can stay here and drive a bit on board. If you don't mind, if you want to see another driver, please write in a comment and we can take a look there. Metzgersfeld. I think enjoyable corner. You arrive with high speed, went off. You're going to get off the throttle for maybe a second. Let the car decelerate a bit, turn in nicely, and accelerate out. Then have a short braking zone. Now here, hit miss. It has 3 apex. You want to be close to the seconds. Suppose on a bit wide here. And it took a while until he was able to back on throttle. There's Ivan's slowest part of track. Second, maybe in first gear for some. X-Mühle. And Spokezon is closing in on Chanty. About 3 seconds the gap as they get closer to Bergwerk, and yeah, the famous spot where Niki Lauda had his accident. Really interesting corner for me because it's a bit downhill and you pick up understeer, then it gets more even and you pick up a bit of oversteer or less understeer. And the corner close a bit in, so challenging corner for sure. With 220 kilometers per hour, they're arriving to Moedkurve. Courage Corner, I think is the English name. Almost flat out. Go through the field once more. So we have Harley in the lead by 50 seconds on our way to personal best, a second that, so maybe an 8:05 high. Let's see. Vanessa in second position, now with a comfortable lead. I think P2 is what is possible. But good start. Ben, third position. Irma not that far off, but a bit more weight in the car. Crowhawk 24 behind and again drifting. Then we have a big gap of 4 minutes to RC. Here we have Confi, leader of the Group 4 cars. Fantastic, 11 seconds ahead of Chanty. And Chanty is followed by Spokezon. If we look at the map, Spokezon in 10th position. That arrow behind him on the map, on the top right, that's the leader. And I think in one lap, maybe 1.5 laps, we will have the first time Harley has to lap the Group 4 cars. Will be interesting because Spokezon is catching Chanty, so Harley is leading 2 cars. They are battling, which is always not the most pleasant thing. On top of that, you really don't want to lap a car on the Nordschleife as the track is narrow, difficult to pass, not easy to see through when the car's in front of where the track limits are. So Susan can see Chanty, and ahead of Chanty, that's Crashtastic. Those three really close together, but Crashtastic has to pit this lap. So we'll be briefly in 10th position. Let's follow Harley and see if we get a new fastest lap of this race. It is an 8 minutes 70, 1.2 seconds quicker, so it could be 8 minute 57 at best. Let's see if Harley's managed to find a bit of time here. Last corners of Tiergarten onto the straight, Finish straight, and the best lap time is 8 minute 5.9. Really strong lap time. We're losing a bit of time, but I'm curious to see if on the long term if he's able to get through Ben. Let's try this view. It's not that great, I think. Let's follow Harley then, as he going to have to overtake those two pretty soon. He's on a personal best again, or pretty much even to his personal best. I don't think he can pull this off to get another personal best this lap time, because he's going to overtake two drivers, and it's going to be on the Nordschleife, unfortunately for him. You can see them, and he wish he would have more time to get them right now, to pass them here on the GP circuit, which is far more easy. I think we have to switch. Chanty with a bit of a mistake. Really difficult situation for us, because he wants to attack, but at the same time he has to look into his rear mirrors and let this leader, this Group 3 car, pass. It's not an easy situation. I see a lot of corner combination coming up, so not easy to give one side, because the track is changing. I think Harley was looking for a move there, but it wasn't quite along. Has to wait a bit here, and now should be the time where he could get past with more straight line speed, shows himself, and gets past two cars at once. That's almost perfectly, while he didn't lost a lot of time there and could clear two cars on the straight. Bit aggressive before the corners, but luckily no harm was done. So he's focused on trying to make a move. He's going a bit quicker into the corner. Chanty was braking a bit earlier. I don't think that Spokazon thought this was happen. Again, different choice of lines here. And I'm having a bit of a deja vu here. Spokazon behind an RSC car, looking for a pass. He's really close, not as close as he was with Confi, and he's not going for it, which is ultimately, I think, the better decision. Bit of a mistake here, missed the apex by meter or two. Let's see if he's going for moves here. He shows himself driving a bit offline, that Chanty is aware that a move could come. Mistake by Chanty again, lost a lot of momentum, but yes, Ivan is not a position where two cars work. better exit for Spookers. I think the best thing he could do, as Jakar said at the beginning of this race, is to wait for the long straight Döttinger, having a decent gap, using the slipstream, slingshot by, and cover any counterattacks. Braking for Bergwerk. Now it's a long straight where an attack could be made. Question is it worth the risk? Kesselchen, where Lauda had his famous accident. Let's see. Is he going for a move? He's trying to, but Chanty is positioning a car well, and there's not that much room. Again, Chanty is not for the best exit, but it's enough. Covering the inside here, and I thought you would try to go for a move there. Really close racing here. Maybe having a look to the inside here on Carousel, but Chanty is ahead, and wow, really late on brake, almost lost control of the car there. Let's focus on not getting quite a possibility to make a move stick. He's always in the area where he could risk a move. It's apparent that it's not worth to take the risk. It's not quite there, and he has just wait a couple of kilometers, and he has an amazing opportunity, and he should wait for that. On the other hand, he doesn't want to lose time. I think he can drive quicker. Chanty is fighting a lot, and now Spokozon is a bit off track. I was well off track. That could lead into a penalty, and that's the last thing he wants. Yeah, it's a penalty for Spokozon. It's really hurting me a lot, because burning a penalty has to happen on Döttinger Höhe, which means that even if he's going to pass him, he has to burn a penalty, losing a lot of momentum. And Chanty would say, thank you very much, I'm taking that position back. And ultimately Chanty will hold 8th place, which is second in class. Must feel really frustrating for Spokozon. Now he has a chance. He's on the inside. Chanty apparently did not see him. Spokozon had the inside. Chanty was a bit in lead for that corner, but turned in as if Spokozon wasn't there. Small contact, nothing happened. I think we can move on from that. And now Spokozon gets the draft, burns, should get on. I think he lifted too much. He should have lifted and lost maybe a 10th, maximum of 2/10, and stay in the draft. Now he lost that completely and has to do the work all over again. Fantastic, 30 seconds behind this fight. Harley in the lead. Here we have Vanessa hitting the back marker at a perfect spot. Crowhawk 24 behind. I'm not sure what the gap was before this lap, if it extended or got a bit closer. Definitely Crowhawk with another small damage. Yep, start to feel for those guys. Driving quick, lap times are great. We see 8-minute 10s, 8-minute 10s, 8-minute 9s, but that was in lap 7 and 6. And after that, lap 8 he pitted, lap 9 he pitted, and lap 10 is an out lap. That's the reason why this lap is quicker. Wasn't really an 8:06 for real, was basically gifted. Oh, come on! No, hold it! Gifted a few seconds due to the way the game teleports you back after being in pit lane. But things like that happen too often for Krog. Being on the edge of the track, plus being a bit on the grass, then braking or turning in, and the car just loses grip, and things like that happen. I know it's really easy to say, but if Krog would go a bit easier, not try to put everything in the car, he maybe is going to find his rhythm and doing better after that. Doesn't have to worry about losing 5th position though, as Ferner had a lot of incidents as well and is 4 minutes behind that. He had a brutally bad lap time with 10-minute 19, unfortunately. Confi 1 minute 26 ahead of Chanty, and I think this is the closest battle we have on track, so I would like to stay here. Suppose on with 3.4 seconds worth of time penalty. I wonder where he got that. What is it? Engika chicane at the end of the Grand Prix circuit, close before moving on to the Nordschleife. You could cut there and get a penalty. I'm not sure if this is worth 5 seconds or 3.5. Oh no! Spokazon tried to make a move, just hit with 2 tires the grass and lost complete control, spun out. But I have to say, great way to catch the car back, stabilize it, and manage to avoid Shanty ahead, and just had very small contact. Unfortunately, it is damage for the game, so it's going to lose time. Again, RX having the pace, showing good driving, but then having a small mistake, and having mistake here just is going to punish you every time. Speedy says good save. Agree. It could have had ended way worse, but yeah, sucks. Lost about 10 seconds, having damage right now, and having to worry about Vanessa right now behind. Vanessa has to find a way past this guy now. I think he should give her more space. He didn't really give her a lot of space. Vanessa squeezed her way through there. Yeah. Well, good news for Crashtastic. Yeah, no engine damage. That's the most critical part. I mean, either way, he's probably going to box after that. But having engine damage or not could mean, what, 20, 30 seconds of difference. So, yeah, I agree with you. That was a good save. Vanessa is going to lap Shanty in a bit. You could just see Shanty in front of her, disappearing. And I'm afraid Vanessa is going to hit Shanty after Hohe 8. So an area with a lot of corners. Maybe I'm mistaken. This is blind corner almost. Is she going for a move? Yes. Shanti saw that the Group 3 car was emerging. And good job between those two. Ali leading with more than a minute. We're halfway through the first stint, so he could make it up to 2 minutes, which is more than a safety napkin, I would say. It's really going their way. Die 4 lustigen 5. The 4 funny 5s. Funny name. Yeah, Hali is on a mission. I really hope Hali is able to keep focus, to keep being focused, because nothing really happens for him. He's just doing his laps, and now he had to lap some drivers, but more or less he's going to drive 80 minutes now, being on his own, and it's easy to lose concentration, and a mistake can cost a lot here. So this is a mentally challenge as well. Ömer, I have to say, doing really good. Not doing big mistakes. I think, yeah, one time he hit the wall ever so slightly, no damage. I think, apart from Hali, maybe the only driver. And probably not the 4th quickest driver, but his racing is without mistakes, and that's why he's in 4th position and not too far off the podium here for this stint. Pit stop for Hali. The 777. Back on track with pretty much 80 minutes to go. Vanessa at Tiergarten is going to visit the pit at the end of the lap. A small drift, squeezing everything out of tires. We saw a backmarker here, so Ben had to pass someone as well. For some reason the camera decided to change. I don't like that at all. Let's focus on 12 seconds and it's going to pits now. So he lost, I would say, 2-3 seconds after he crashed and rejoined. So yeah, that's damage limitation. And crash tastic. Driving over the cone and having some action. What's happened with Crowhawk? Where's Crowhawk? Oh, come on, not again! Not again! Not again! Oh, it's really not going his way. It's really not going their way. Yeah, I'm afraid that's it for Crowhawk with another pit stop. He's going to be about 2 minutes behind Irma, and Irma's driving consistently, not allowing him big mistakes. I don't see any way Crow could fight back to 4th position. Out of zone. That's really unfortunate. Irma lapping. That's a Lexus. That's no, that's not Shanty. Is it Confi? No. I know my drivers, don't worry. It's Crash Tastic. So, Spoke is on. Bit on his own. It's a long way to close the gap. It's 20 seconds. Here we have Chanty and a BMW, 8th position. Almost 2 minutes behind Confi. After the mistake, Confi lost track position, but fought back and never looked back, and is leading his class comfortably. Even more dominant than Harley's Group 3. And Ben should visit the pits at the end of this lap, if I'm not mistaken. Interestingly, the gap almost came down to nothing. And if we look at the lap time, it wasn't bad lap times. 8:10, 12:13. Not that bad. Has Chanty now in front at Fuchsröhre. Should wait, please wait. A bit of a misunderstanding. Shanty moving out of the way, and Ben wasn't sure if the space would open up on the left or on the right side. Lost a bit of time, but most importantly, nothing bad happened. No contact. Lap times. 8:18 wasn't a strong lap time. 8:14, not the best lap time. But Vanessa can see Ben in front, and she knows that Ben has done one stop less, and he's going to make one stop less. So after this lap, or at the moment, they are even on stops that are going to happen in this race, and she's controlling. Yeah, she's basically in control of second place. She is going to make one stop more than Ben, and that's how it's going to be. If they stop, I don't know, probably 2 times more. She has more pace, so it's looking really good for her at the moment. That Vanessa can get second position. Ben didn't have the pace or lost too much time on old rubber, that he can hold up to the second place. Obviously, no mistakes are allowed to happen. .5 seconds. A mistake like this, basically copycat move mistake like Ömer did before. Bit too late on brakes, ran out of road, and went on the grass. Maybe the slightest of touches with the wall, but nothing bad really happened. Lost a couple of seconds. Not too bad. Irma behind in 4th position. 13-14 seconds behind that. Able to pass Shanti as well. Yeah, Barrier is really attracting people today. Yeah, Barrier is attracting a lot of people, I bet, today and tomorrow. I don't know. Seems that I missed many things from Cork. 2 minutes away. Yeah, Flame Haze. Cork did drive well, lap time wise. Unfortunately, just happened too many mistakes for him. Not big things, but just small things like driving into a corner and extending the track and being with 2 wheels on the grass, and then obviously lose grip and can't catch the car after that, and then you have to pit because you have damage, and this happens to you 2 laps later, and that just adds up. Unfortunately, he's driving well in terms of lap time, but unfortunately too many small mistakes for Krog. I'm gonna mute myself for a minute. I'm having a short snack. So Ben in the pit lane again for scheduled pit stop. We'll move him behind Ömer. We'll see here is back in 3rd place. Ömer going to pit at the end of this lap. And the gap wasn't too big, I think like 15 seconds. So Ömer has a chance to get 3rd position. It's not out of the window. Shanti, I think she has no damage. I thought she had damage. Shanti in the pit. Now she's back on the track. Okay, Spugazon is ahead. I think, yeah, both have to stop one more time. I think. Maybe they have to stretch it a bit, but they should be able to go for 1 stop instead of 2. I think we have a really interesting fight up our hands because Crashtastic is in 8th position. Is going to stop one more time and then I think one more time again. There's no way he's going to drive. Or is it? Maybe he can squeeze out 2 laps, which are 18 minutes 50. Could be that Crashtastic is going to stop one time as well. But anyway, the gap is not that far off. It's only 12 seconds. And another 12-13 seconds behind that to Chanty. So I'm hoping that we have a good battle here in Group 4 between Chanty Spogazan and Crashtastic. Confi is leading by more than 2 minutes, so I think there's no way that that Confi is challenged for this position. And we witness Ferner with a mistake. Briefly before X Müller. Yeah, hit a wall. Bit unfortunate. Ah, we just missed Crowhawk's magic number, 5,555.5 kilometers with this Porsche. Meanwhile, Ben with a mistake. Oh, come on. I want to say what a nice jump, and then he ran off the road and hit the barrier hard. I think he can be happy that's only a bumper and front wheels, not the engine. That's not a great timing to have an accident. I'm saying it again. He just pitted, fresh tires and a car full of fuel. Flame haze, yes, there was a disconnect. It was Joe for BN Racing. Unfortunately, there was a disconnect. Yeah, I don't know if he wanted to brake later or forgot to brake, but looks like Ben went way too far, way too quick into the corner. Yeah, mid-engine, if it would be front engine, would have been engine damage, yeah, likely. Yeah. As Kevin Winsley said, worst possible time, worst lap to have this. Pretty good news for Irma, as the driver behind him has to pit, he has to pit. They will come out back pretty much with this gap, and P3 is pretty much alive for him. And we spoke about the disconnect about the Mighty Joe, which is really frustrating for them because they were ahead of Irma before the disconnect. Were fighting, and BN Racing could be in third position in theory. Remains to be seen, obviously, if Joe could have hoped that pace, avoid mistake, and so on. But in general, they would be there. And PayPal is doing a lot of things right by just keeping it on the black stuff. Also, almost 30 people are watching. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the race. This is a 24-hour race. We just started with about 2 hours of racing, and we'll finish tomorrow about 2 o'clock European time. We have a yellow flag. Let's see who this is. That's Ferner from the RSC Group 3 team. Disconnecting steering wheel, I can't believe that. That must be so frustrating. It happened to me in DAS once, and it cost our team basically one position. And it happened to me once in a league race, which cost me ultimately not only this race win, but basically the championship. But if it's happened multiple times a day, it must be so frustrating. I'm sorry for Tim. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't switch from steering wheel to controller and be somewhat competitive. I couldn't. Let's go through the field once more. Hallie is leading 1 minute 21. 8 minute 8, 8 minute 7. What's Vanessa doing? 8:13 was last lap, and before that she went into the pits. Let's see what this lap is going to be. Yeah, close to 8:13 again. Maybe a bit slower. Or maybe a bit quicker. Is he going? Yeah, she's going to jump. I love that. 8:11. So Hallie is increasing that gap by a few seconds. Omar going to pit. Ben obviously losing time, but just a little bit. 25, 26 seconds. Could have been a lot worse. And Ben into the pits as well. So Böhmer definitely now has third place. Crowhawk is behind Shanty. Outside line, passing that BMW, but going into quick. Hold. Come back stable. Watch out. Luckily, nothing happened there for him. I was looking at the indicator if he's picking up damage, and I was worried, but luckily he got away this time. Posagon in 8th position, as Tim still on his way into the pit lane. Yeah, and this explains if the wheel disconnects, why he's in that position with this time gap. If we look at the map, Hallie has a somewhat easy program out of it. It seems like he has lapped every car, every driver, and is not going to lap any cars for the next half an hour at least. Depends on obviously mistakes of other drivers if they're going to pit and are slow because of engine damage. Joseph, greetings, hi, moin. Looking good for you. Vanessa, doing a good job. Bit off pace by a few seconds, which is okay on this track length. King Ren, if you stop now, I'm not sure if I understand your question completely. You mean like BN Racing who got the disconnect? I'm not sure if I understand correctly, because the disconnect is not that bad as it could be. Out of the stint with a penalty. If you got a penalty like using a wrong BOP, gaining an advantage this way, you get penalized with a disqualification for the whole event. End of story, directly. If you also quitted. Danke Nuschel. If Tim quitted, we would take the gap that he has, 13 minutes to P1, and calculate how many laps he would have driven. Probably 7 or 8 laps. And then we take his qualifying lap and add 5% of that. So let's say his quali lap was 8 minute 10, and now we say it's 8 minute 20. And then we say, okay, he would race with a fictional lap time of 8 minute 20 or 8 minute 25, the last 7 laps, and at the 30 minutes he has now, plus the gap that would come up out, because of that. So Hali is doing 8:05s, so in theory Tim would lose 20 seconds a lap for 7 laps. So 13 minutes plus 7 times 20, 140. So that's how we calculate it. So he's still in the race. The gap is big, yes. It was because it was 30 minutes before. Yeah. And I'm not cross with you on that. It's when you got problems like this, I think it's absolutely understandable if he quits. Just sorry for him, because that's nothing you can do about this. And you prepare for the race, you put hours into this in practice, deciding which car, what strategy and everything, and then there's something which is completely out of your control. Yeah, but Tim, or better saying the team, has now, let's say, 15-16 minutes of total time behind the leader, behind Hali, but that's it. Next stint, your next driver comes in and starts from this gap, and the race continues. And if you drive well, you can bring that gap down and improve from that position, and so on and so on. The same for BN Racing with the disconnect. I don't know what the time is. There probably are let's say 15 minutes behind, somewhat round number. But they can continue the next stint as if they have driven the whole event. So you're never completely out of the race. Yeah, big F. Tim, I'm very sorry for you. It's out of your control. That sucks. Colonel, thank you for mentioning it out. I wasn't aware that Irma and Ben are this close. 2 seconds, but unfortunately Irma has damage this early in the lap. I can only imagine this happening in turn 2, where the barrier is very close to the track, to the racing line. And no, it can't be. If it would be turn 2, it should have been the other side, the left side, not the right side. Or Irma had damage from the lap before and just continuing. Well, that's the first time Irma with damage, and I'm pretty sure that this makes Harley the only driver this stint who hasn't obtained any damage. Yeah, the correct flame ace. Irma stops one more time, so yes, it is time loss, and I think he has to endure this lap anyways to make it to the end when he stops. If he would have stopped that lap before, he couldn't have finished with the fuel. So damage limitation, I think, is correct here. Obviously a chance for Eriks to get the podium spot, P3, but Irma is not out of the picture. He is going to behind maybe 6-7 seconds at the end of the lap, and then we drive for 45 minutes and he can still make it. I have to look if he's driving. I'm pretty sure he is. 1 second. Yeah, the man the username I cannot pronounce correctly is driving for the Toyota in Group 4. I'm not aware when he's driving, when the schedule is, but he's definitely driving, and I'm better not trying to pronounce his name if I don't have to. Maybe you can okay, enjoy. I'm not for smoking particularly, but enjoy. Anyway, if you like a discussion, I think personally I don't smoke, and I don't think smoking has anything good for me. But I think that's personally, that's just for me, and if anyone else likes it, fair enough, enjoy it. I have no right to tell you what you do or not to do, and it bothers me that because of this way that that smoking and alcohol gets negative feedback or no, yeah, publicity. We don't have them as sponsors anymore in motorsport. Obviously, it is great that people are getting aware of what how bad that could be for them, but I really liked alcohol and tobacco branding on, especially on Formula 1 cars. Marlboro and McLaren and Ferrari, obviously, Johnny Player Special, things like that. I think it really looked cool, and as a fan of motorsport, it's a bit of a shame that we lost that. As config got a bit wide there. And I think it's really stupid that alcohol is not permitted to do branding, but you see alcohol branding all over the top in Formula 1 because it's branding to not drink alcohol, but it's still alcohol advertising. That's a bit stupid in my opinion. Yeah, Mission Spino, a better tomorrow from McLaren, things like that. I mean, the fantasy companies or products are invented. But we all know it's tobacco. Yeah, I'm not sure why. If I understand correctly, mission winnow, and with that, Marlboro stopped sponsoring Ferrari for good. They're separating, which is understandable on one side, because why would I spend money if my brand is not shown on the car? Because I do not win anyways. Good point. But I think Marlboro was one, maybe even the top sponsor of Ferrari, despite not being shown on the car, which is quite funny. So that's one of the Porsches from Eric's behind. Confi is getting lapped in a moment. No. Kevin, no. No, no, no. Croak. Okay, small damage. Tires are gone. Bonoma tires are gone. He really can't catch a break, you're right. No. Oh. Who knows? Merck and Red Bull obviously were really invested in the title battle from last year, so there's always a chance. I would welcome it if it would be more equal, because what I really didn't like about last year's Formula One, it was pretty much clear Mercedes is going to win. And maybe Ferrari is close and can challenge them for a weekend, or Red Bull can challenge them for a weekend or two, but in general, you know, okay, there's no real challenge. And if we could have a battle between three teams like in 2010 to 13, where it was most of the times really close between those teams, that would be great. I hope the field, it's as a whole thing, comes closer together, and drivers could challenge more. For example, Mick in Haas could show maybe a good performance and get close to the points. And if he's driving bad, he's going to be in last place again, because he deserves it then. But something like this, bit frustrating that that you know, Hamilton can have a bad weekend and he's still getting easily points every time, or the same for Bottas or Paris. There's nothing some drivers can do to get out of the points, basically, and there's nothing some drivers can do to get into the points. Let's see. Let's check the grid with about a 3/4 hour to go. Harley with 2 minutes, lead ahead of Vanessa. Why? Vanessa pitted, and Harley has to pit once more. That's the reason why the gap gone up. Ben in third position, 10 seconds. A bit surprising me that Irma didn't pit. He decides to continue for one more lap, I assume, and then pit. Gap 10 seconds. It's okay. It's going to be what, 15, 16 seconds at the end of this lap. This is definitely up to a challenge to get that position back from Ben. Crowhawk. Last lap 9:20. You see outlap, he was in the pits, 4 minutes behind. That's half a lap. A bit unfortunate for him how the race went. Confi is doing a good job. And apparently the field here in Group 4 has drifted quite out, so I'm afraid we won't see much battles going on here. Crash-tastic. I don't think he's going to stop again, so Chanty's back out of the pit lane. Those 15 seconds are real, and it's challenging to get that back. Focus on. It's going to get lapped by his lead colleague. Yeah, lift it, let him go. It was Crowhawk. In a way I was thinking about, maybe you shouldn't let him go that easily, because in a few corners you will see him again when he spun again. But I know that's mean, but Krog had a lot of moments in this race. Just like that. Oh, he saved it though. Didn't really lost control, but yeah, that was the. Oh no. Again, he was on the grass with two wheels, and I don't have a good feeling watching Krog. It's really tense. Yeah, the point that I want to make. We're driving for 2 hours 20 minutes, and it's getting to the point where concentration is going to become more important, and it's just difficult to focus. Another mistake here from Krog. Out of Arnberg, too early on the throttle, going wide, missing the barriers and coming back off track, just losing time, which is okay-ish. Could have been way worse, but here again, just driving too quick into this complex and almost throwing the car away once more. Oh, he's ghosting? Okay, it seems he got control again. I was wondering if there was a problem, or he just needed a moment to pee or something. Which is understandable after more than 2 hours of driving non-stop. Vanessa, no problem. Vanessa's doing a great job. Until now, she has damage. Shit. That's, as Kevin said, the worst time. She just pitted. And she has to pit again, and this opens up the window for Ben. It looked like Ben was set in P4 almost, with little chance to get third place, and now it looks like he can get that second position. Flamer is riding. Usually the Porsche doesn't slide that much. I agree. The Porsche is a mid-engine car. Those cars tend to slide a lot, but the Porsche is the best handling car of them all. Do you think? I think she could maybe with a bit of fuel saving, pit now. Anyway, the Porsche is a good handling car, but I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it feels like that the handling differs from one online lobby to another online lobby. Like, not much, maybe it's just something that I'm thinking is there, but it's not really there. Okay, that's interesting. Not sure if Ben could have done one more lap, but it's definitely, I think, the better decision to pit now. Doing a quick lap, while Vanessa still has to do a slow lap with the damage. So does Irma. And Ben is able to do a quick lap without traffic. The drivers that are in front of him doing a slower lap, and when they pit and come out, Ben has jumped in over the pits and can drive freely for the last 27 minutes. But that's really interesting, Nordschleife. I wasn't aware of that. I'm not sure about American servers or Asian servers or what. I think apart from we had Australian drivers before and drivers in North America. Apart from them, we only had European-based drivers. So I can't comment really on that, but it's good that someone else feels that there's small, very subtle changes in handling. 5 laps thing, I think, yes, that must be the plan. Krog, yeah, I said it at the beginning of the lap, and I'm sorry that I'm right, but it happens too often. If we look at the lap times, 13 was an outlap, 14, 15, 3 laps was probably the maximum he drove without having to pit again. Yeah, and that's unfortunately just not enough to compete with the top drivers. Well, that's not even right to say top drivers, because he's not being a top driver. His pace is good, but he's just doing too many mistakes. If we look at the gap, 26.9 to Ömer and 10 seconds. With that damage, it could be that Ömer is going to catch Vanessa in this lap. Let's see. Here we have Crash. Nose Posagon is apparently asleep as he accelerated really late on a pit lane. Yeah, and there are 13, 14 seconds between them. Oh, 15, 14. Okay. That's going to be challenging. Oh, really? I didn't see that. No, so thank you very much. As you maybe know, there are no stewards who save the video and share the video footage and go through everything. That's the task of every league to say we have a situation here. If this is something you want to send in to get investigated, tell one of your drivers to save the replay and look for a scene for this scene. For once I saw one, for example, crossing the white line on pit exit. This is on you if you want to submit it for the stewards. So, Crash Sesek in 8th position, bit in the middle, in a sandwich between Spogazon and Chanty. 13, respectively 16 seconds are enough time for nothing really. You can't feel safe that you will not be overtaken, but it's not really in an area where say, yeah, okay, I'm going to catch that driver in front of me. So I imagine a bit difficult for him to get motivation up. Oh, no, 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 no. Kevin, I think it's time for your message again. Do you have it on copy-paste? You just have to type, don't have to type anymore. Oof, here we go again. It feels like it. Oh shit. Yeah, I see him. It seems the meme game is strong here. I'm too scared to write it. I was thinking after this Stint 2, Confi is streaming. I'm hosting, by the way, so if you one of the drivers who's driving the Stint after this, you should add me as a friend, otherwise you will not join the lobby. Anyways, I will stream and commentate Stint 3. And I think it would be acceptable to make a drinking game out of it. But I'm not drinking alone, obviously you have to drink too. So... No, 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 no! It's not crashed. It's not crashed. He spun, but he didn't crash. Then it wouldn't be a drink. Well, I don't know. Could be funny. Vanessa Irma used to be 10. Now it's less than 6 seconds. And a bit more repair time. I don't know. Irma could jump Vanessa, although Vanessa has the better pace. And Ben is catching easily, about 6-7 seconds this lap. Just when you mentioned the Drinky Gaming spot. Yeah, good timing. Good timing from me, I know. Spinalla. Okay, 30 minutes to go. Feels like Hali is getting bored. And after this, it's hell. It's going P2, 3 and 4 are fighting for it. P2 looks safe for now. But it looked safe for a long time, and then mistake happens, so mistakes could happen again. Okay, Vanessa into the pits. Irma into the pits. Vanessa was on medium tires. Okay. I hope she is going to select the right tires now. Ben should definitely come out in the lead of those two ahead of him, so in P2. And who's going to be in P3? Uma is still standing, Vanessa is still standing. Come on! Vanessa's driving. Vanessa back on track in 3rd position. Didn't change tires, so Vanessa on old well, 1 lap old medium tires. Ömer is on fresh soft tires, so this is going to be interesting. I think Ömer has now the better. I think he doesn't have the pace head to head to be quicker, but because Vanessa has the medium tires that are used already for a lap now, that's going to be difficult to defend. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. First off, Flamer said Vanessa crossed the white line. This could be really interesting for PPL to report because it's such a close battle in the moment. And Kevin, as lobby host, obviously spectating as well, saw that Crowhawk did a Crowhawk. Someone's behind. Is that? It looks like Spokason was going to be able to overtake Krog because of the engine damage. That's so frustrating. Almost 200. A bit of weaving. Nordschleife, I don't have a keyboard. I literally do not own a PC. I have only these options. I could, but I don't have one. If you like, I could go more into detail in those settings later in Stint 3. Let me know. Gap is closing, Vanessa's losing time on those old medium tires. And I'm afraid that's going to cost her that position. Not sure why. No, Emma. Damn it! Okay, this makes everything I said relevant. Want to say how this change of use of tires could change the outcome, but with that damage, Flameless Vanessa. Oh, she has damage as well. Oh, come on. She was on medium tires and she kept this medium tires. So those tires are 1.5 laps old. Yeah, why is the question I would like to know the answer of. I'm not sure if she thought there was a tire rule that that makes it mandatory. To clarify, no, there's not. You can drive racing softs only if you like. You could use medium, you could use even racing hard tires, but there's not really any point to do that. In the meantime, Halley went into the pits for the last time. And he's going to complete 2 full and a half lap. So yeah, 3 laps. 23 laps for him. Hang on, Group 4 again, I was cut off. Okay. In 9th position is Genty. Doesn't have to stop again. Went into the pit lane on lap 17. That was really a slow lap. 9 minute 41. 50 seconds to crash test, so I'm afraid there's nothing going to change for Chanty. Crash testing. I think he can go to the end with this fuel, but his tires are not looking good. He is 22 seconds behind Spogason, so I don't see him taking that position, especially because Spogason has the fuel to go to the end and definitely the tires to go to the end. He is 2 minutes 24 behind Confi. Confi should also be able to go to the end. His tires aren't in the best condition, but I think it is manageable for him to go to the end. So I'm not expecting changes of position or drastically change of gaps. Yeah, Confi is flying as well. I mean, Confi and Spogason collided in, I think, the 2nd lap, and Spogason lost a lot of time, minute, and obviously had to face traffic in a different way Confi did. But I think you could say that Confi was able to drive a minute quicker than Spogason over 2.5 hours, which is incredible. Yeah, Confi is doing a great job. His lap times are the most consistent. If we look, he had 8 minutes 54 and then an 8:49. His best lap is 47. So I wonder if this could be traffic. If we look at the map, it is possible. But yeah, he's doing a really good job. And if we look at the lap times here, they are in the 50s, and they are well into the 50s. So Confi is doing a good job, yes. Yeah, I think it was stupid from both. Confi obviously wanted not to give up that position, risk it too much. At the same time, Spogason shouldn't have tried it in this position. Yeah, stupid racing incident. Just an incident. I hope I triggered someone with that. Krog is doing fine. I think I keep on going. Just leave it that way. We saw Krog doing fine. That's great. It's funny because they have the same amount or worth of damage, bumper and front end, and one tire, so to speak. And the gap is somewhat consistent, bit in favor of Irma. 22 to a 19. Okay, it's 2.5 seconds. So maybe Irma can do something about it. In the meantime, Ben looks safe. Unless he bins it, which he hopefully doesn't do. Harley close to the 3-minute mark. I know he could go to that 3 minutes, and he's going to lap one car. I'm not sure if you catch the next car after that, but definitely one back marker to deal with, and then he should be golden. Nuschel, I don't know if you are in contact with Confi, but you should be aware, because if Confi is doing one more lap, basically if the timer runs out, the in-game timer gives everyone 3 minutes to finish the race, so it would be wiser to lose a bit of time and finish the race pretty much dead on, instead of driving 180 seconds and in this time losing time what a group 4 loses to group 3 car in 180 seconds. There could be maybe a second or two you will lose because of or let's say 5-6 seconds that you would lose because of performance, because you slow it down on purpose. But if you drive 180 seconds more, you will lose even more time. You're sure about? Yeah? You're sure about that? Another me. Oh my god. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's dead on 180 seconds. Let's see. We're definitely cleverer in a bit more than 15 minutes, quarter hour. Could be. Could be. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Crash-tastic. Yeah. Had to pit. It would have been 2 laps for him. Yeah, and he's a bit shy. Plus, his tires are too worn. Unfortunately, there's no way Shanty. Oh, nice drift! Shanty can make a profit out of that. Spogazon definitely has a nice lead ahead of Crash-tastic. Confi doing a good job. Oh, look at Krog. There you go. Unfortunately, he lost more than 3 minutes to Uma, but now it's going. I'm believing. Hang on, can I start a prediction here? No, I can't, because I'm on mobile, not on a computer. I cannot start a prediction. If Comfy doesn't finish the 21st lap, it doesn't matter. The last gap that is shown will be taken. So once more, he's going to pass his league colleague, and after that we will switch to the battle for P3. Blue flags are shown. I hope they leave enough space. Both make the corner. Both brake in time. Both brake in time. Very well, good. Okay, let's go ahead. 3 seconds the gap. 3 second gap. Nice. That sounds like an interesting finish. 1.6. It's getting closer. Small mistake in front. Okay, we're close to the magic number where you get the suck, the draft. Yeah, we're within the suck zone. And that could be a change in position. Slipstream. Come on, 6th gear. Yes. Now he's gaining 4/10. 3/10. Oh, the Merc is quick in a straight line. 2/10. He's going to have the outside line here. Now on the outside. He's going to be on the outside once more. Now he has the inside. Vanessa's still there. Maybe small touch. I think Vanessa got the touch and lost control. Not sure about what happened there exactly. No. Okay, that's definitely a pit stop now for them. I think there could have been a touch and Vanessa lost control. Therefore, cut the penultimate corner. The game resetted her and then she lost control again. Difficult to see from that perspective if the touch was avoidable, if the touch was more on Vanessa's side or more on Irma's side, who's responsible for that. Okay, interesting from Flame Haze that she was looking at the radar. Yeah, again, it's a bit frustrating that Gran Turismo doesn't assist us drivers. Sims like iRacing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, they have spotters that say right, still there, something like that. That give you an assist to guide you a bit better. And the position of the map, you can see it on screen, is on the bottom right. If you're driving, you don't have time to look bottom right, then in the middle on the screen again. Assetto Corsa Competizione has the radar in the middle, almost on the top, not quite 3/4 on top, so it is better in your vision without really disturbing you. And yeah, just unfortunate. It can't be a big touch that happens, but at this speed, I think even a small touch can change the outcome of that. And I'm sorry for that, because Vanessa drove well and looked good for a 2nd position. Now it's going to be 4th position, and 4th position with a big gap. On the other side, I don't want to say anything bad about Ömer, because it didn't seem for me that he did something wrong. Yeah, just unfortunate. Yeah, no, she'll agree with that. An error, a bit stupid. Yeah, collision hitboxes are inconsistent. Obviously, netcode is always never perfect. This adds up. But I would be surprised if this changed, because from what we saw on video footage back in 2020, when the very first trailer dropped with some very short gameplay from Trial Mountain in the Mazda RX Vision. That was the exact same overlay that we're seeing right now in Gran Turismo Sport. Then we got gameplay from Deep Forest maybe a month ago. It was still the same, and yesterday or 2 days ago we got more new gameplay trailer from Porsche in Daytona, and again it still was the same overlay, so I don't think we see much change here. I would be really surprised if we see structural change. Maybe they say, okay, for the trailer it's good, we leave it like this, and we make small changes for the final product. Okay, but I don't think that we see changes like we put one thing that's in the bottom corner to another place, or allow more difference what a player can choose to change. For example, if we look at the display here, we have the total racing time, which is fine, I guess. Tires and car damage, which is okay. Fuel, which is interesting. Then we have the kilometers. How many kilometers the car's driven, which is for me as a viewer, for a streamer, nice to have, but it's completely irrelevant as a driver. Then we have a lot of indicators, what is used, ABS, traction control, lights, and so on. Okay, fine. Then we have indicator for throttle and brake, which as a driver I don't always need or do not want always to have. As a viewer, maybe interesting. As a driver, okay-ish. Then we have this huge part in the middle, which shows the gear, how the steering wheel is turned, and obviously speed. And I'm driving, for example, like this. I have the dash cam dashboard right there. I see the gear, I know the speed, I can read it from the car itself. I don't need it, for example. That would be something I would say, okay, just let me remove it. Well, anyways. No, oh no, I know exactly what... Oh, come on, Kevin. Ah, come on, no. Good thing is, the race is almost over. 3 minutes 40, so he's not going to do another lap anyway, so Krog can just let it end. Let the suffering end. I mean race end. Let's see who's going another lap. Hali is on his final lap. He will not do another lap. Ben is going to do one more lap. Omar is going to do one more lap. So is Vanessa and Crowhawk. Yeah, it's close, but I think he's just shy of that. Confi. Yeah, close as well, as Nushel said. He's crashing more than Crash Tastic was Crash in his name tag. Crowhawk, tell me you hate Porsche without telling me you hate Porsche. Okay, let's go through the field from P9 to 1. Shanti doing a good race, managed to do most of the race without mistakes. Well, I think then the concentration fell a bit and mistakes started to happen, but overall decent performance. Crash-tastic too. Bit unfortunate for him that he couldn't hold on. Had some mistakes too. Spookazun. Yeah, would have been very interesting to see where he would have been if he would have lost more than a minute. But he recovered well. Good drive. Confi, I hope for him. Yeah, he shouldn't be crossing the line. Confi should be the first to actually finish within the time limit, because he has no fuel after that. Amazing drive. That one incident obviously was not necessary, but recovered extremely strong. Amazing pace. No mistakes after that. 2 times exact lap time. No way. Funny. Anyway, 40 seconds. I'm afraid he has to. Yeah. That sucks. Confi has to pit. And that sucks. Crowhawk definitely doesn't have to pit, because he will finish the race when he crosses the line, which is in 10 seconds. Vanessa, yeah. Bit unfortunate. Drove really well. A bit like Chanty, 2 hours really well. And then felt like the concentration went up. I think Confi finished the race in the pit lane, which could have been a big... I think that's a big brave move. Yeah, 9:30. Honestly, that's a big brave move from Confi. That worked perfectly for him. He didn't have to drive for another 9 minutes and collect additional time loss in comparison to Group 3 cars, obviously. No, Confi it's done. He's done. Confi is done. Confi crossed the line, then went into the pit lane. The timer ran to 0, and then Confi crossed the line because he left the pits. Confi finished behind the finish line, but yeah, it is weird because he basically was behind the finish line on track, but because Gran Turismo is stupid with that, for the game he didn't. Crowhawks over the line as well. Yeah, but Confi, there's the checkered flag. Has finished behind and not behind the finish line at the same time. RX Ben in second place, 3 minutes. So well done to Hali. Driving just like that, 3 minutes advantage. Not bad. Really well driven, well deserved. Yeah, congrats Ali, that was masterclass. Can't find any critic for that drive. Who's crossing the line next? Nothing's going to happen here. I think anyone is going to finish now. Crash-tastic. Triple Eight in 8th position. Where's Alex? They will finish the race a bit later. Six. No! Okay. 3:11 behind, 40 seconds advantage over P3. Chanty. Nice drift to the end, and was a good drive, and yeah, bit unfortunate in the last hour. And now we are waiting for 2nd and 3rd position. And after anyone crosses the line, I will stop the stream pretty soon. Confi, who drove the first stint, will stream and commentate the second stint. In the meantime, I will open stint 2. And after that, I will stream commentate the third stint, so we'll hear each other at 21:30 at the latest, I hope. Yeah, Flame Ace, I think he's going to make it. You literally don't see any fuel left, but he didn't change the fuel setting, so I'm pretty sure he's going to make it. Otherwise, it would have been a waste of fuel not to change the fuel settings or anything like that, but he's just going to make it. Or is he? No way! With 80 kilometers an hour, Ben is crawling over the line to finish in 2nd position. Yeah, 3 seconds for you. I think that's a present you gladly accept. Yeah, great drive from Ömer. Unfortunately, he did some mistakes as well. Could have been P2, but it's a really strong finish. If you think about the start of the race where he was last in class, as was said in chat, and where he's finished now is a really strong drive. And now Vanessa's going to finish. And that's stint 1 out of 7. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were entertained by the commentary, by the race. And in a couple of minutes, Confi is going to be taking over this stream. Just a short break. And yeah, see you, hear you hopefully later this evening. Bye.